we'll say there's a decent opportunity coming up in a coin that is absolutely popping off right now, and you're taking advantage of that and then offering that advantage out to the retail participant. It looks like anywhere from, like, as it's sitting right now, $25 to like $35 range every single day per NFT that you would actually be mining in that KASPA token. If you make $25 a day and you paid $1,100, your ROI time is basically a month and a half. It's about 45 days. Just kind of expound upon that and tell everybody what that actually is.
I operate Ace Miners Pro, which is an ASIC company that specializes in procuring ASICs as well as hosting solutions for clients. We cater to self-miners as well as larger companies, publicly traded companies. So we cater to everyone. We wanted to go in and offer fractionalization to our community for those that didn't want to take a high risk on purchasing their own ASIC. So we really wanted to give everyone an opportunity to participate. We're operating out of Washington State and Oregon. We are operating out of 100% hydro energy. We started in early 2022. The concept actually was introduced prior to that. So we had been in the preparation phase for a year prior. We had a smaller supply of 500. We sold out, and then we got into the second phase. So the total supply was 2,000. And then we introduced Litecoin and Dogecoin mining. So initially that's what we were known for because that's our specialty. So we're now mining Litecoin, Dogecoin, CKB, and Kadena for our community.
And,
Nice.
and all that with a single NFT. So you get to mine just like buying 3 miners with one single NFT. And we've been paying out rewards for the past 2 months. Holders can hold the NFT and go on their claim on a monthly basis. And the thing is, we don't do any conversion.
So when you're mining the Litecoin and the Kadena and the Dogecoin and all these different coins, what you're saying is that the people that own the NFTs basically own a portion of that hash power, and they're actually being paid out in those native coins that you're mining.
Exactly. Yeah. So 3 transactions, a single claim, and they get all 3 tokens in different wallets that they provide.
They get a dedicated hash rate per NFT.
Okay, what does my NFT actually mean? Well, it's all right here in front of your eyes. So I actually love that.
This is KASPA mining, and it's with the Bitmain Antminer KS3 that we're offering. And we're giving a dedicated hash rate of 150 gigahash per NFT.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and we sold out
Yeah.
our 6th first, actually 5 batches already. They sold out in minutes.
So if somebody buys one NFT, they'll essentially have 1/50th of that hash rate, correct?
Yes, exactly. So it's literally just exactly the same as the holders buying a miner their own and being able to mine the coin.
So we come in as a service provider, with a hosting solution, and they have direct access to their to those coins, which is an authentic experience given that it's the native coin.
And
Okay.
just to touch up on something, for example, for Ace Miners NFT, we were the first mining project in Web3 to receive the KA3. So we were the first project before any other project. The same thing with the K7s, and even our lead time whenever we order a new Litecoin miner in L7 for our community, we receive it within a couple of days. So they buy a dedicated hash rate, 150 gigahash a second, 64 watts, without any fees taken from it, neither for the team or compound. So this is really, you're buying a miner, you get a concrete and actual hash rate power back to the holder.
That's what I look for, and that's why I built my companies the way that I built my companies as well, because I want to take traditional business and bring it into Web3, right? And that's exactly what you're doing.
In order to comply with United States-based FTC laws, I'm announcing that this is a paid AMA. This was paid via a stablecoin cryptocurrency, and this video should not be construed as, nor am I representing or marketing it as, an advertisement or endorsement for the client or company in the video. Drew Wolfer has not received any native tokens, NFTs, or financial instruments tied to this company. Drew Wolfer has no ownership stake, equity, or investment in this company at the time of filming. This is not financial advice, nor an endorsement or advertisement for investment in the business in this video. We can provide referral links at our own discretion, but are not required to. This is a pre-recorded disclaimer, and if anything is not factual or has changed from this pre-recorded disclaimer, it will be addressed in the video. The full disclaimer is in the description box of this video, so please do your own research and make your own informed decisions.
Welcome back to the Drew Wolfer YouTube channel. We have an exciting AMA for you today. We have Antminers brought to you by Ace Miners. And you might be wondering what Antminers is. That's exactly what we're going to get into in this video. And you've probably already heard of Ace Miners because they've been around for quite a while. So we'll talk about that as well. But before we get into anything, obviously, if you've watched this channel long enough, you know what time it is. Make sure that you smash the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom! Bang on the notification bell. Comment any questions or concerns you have in the relevant section. We will surely pass them on to the team, and we're going to give them the opportunity to go ahead and introduce themselves. Zara and AJ are here from the team, and they are very transparent. They've been here for a while. We're going to let them speak to who they are, what they've done, and what they're building.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having us, Drew. Pleasure to be here. We've connected previously, and I love everything that you do. So thanks again for having us on your platform. A little bit about myself. My name is Zara. I operate Ace Miners Pro, which is an ASIC company that specializes in procuring ASICs as well as hosting solutions for clients. We cater to self-miners as well as larger companies, publicly traded companies. So we cater to everyone. We first got into the NFT space a year and a half ago, a little bit over that actually. We launched our 2,000 supply of Ace Miners. We wanted to go in and offer fractionalization to our community for those that didn't want to take a high risk on purchasing their own ASIC. So we really wanted to give everyone an opportunity to participate. My background lies in crypto. So I started back in 2017 with bot trading. And that's kind of how I got into it. And then later on, I was introduced to mining, and I loved every bit of it. So we're operating out of Washington State and Oregon. We are operating out of 100% hydro energy. We also specialize in procuring power as well. And we've helped facilitate that process with several companies who are looking for a large capacity up to 100 megawatts. So that's a little bit about my background in crypto.
Sounds good.
And as of myself, so my name is AJ. I'm the operations manager for Ace Miners and Ace Miners NFT, and now antminerz KASPA edition. I've been in the crypto field for a few years now. I got introduced to crypto mining by Zara, actually. And I have a background in systems engineering and, Cisco switches, servers, administration, stuff like that. So I've been in the IT field for about 15 years. So, and I'm the numbers guy when it comes to Ace Miners and ants.
Yep. He's the brain of the operation. Everything IT related, he's our go-to.
Hey, we always have to have that type of stuff. I know over at PreSend, I would not be able to build a software. So we have Jace doing it. He worked at Amazon and Facebook. I trust him with my life. He can have that part of the business and I'll keep my part.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So the first thing that most people would normally ask is, and we've already blown this to smithereens, is the team docs. Team is docs. You're looking at them, and we don't have to worry about these things. So let's talk about, when did Ace Miners NFT actually start? Because I kind of want to give people a background on who you are and, just kind of build a rapport with the audience and say, hey, did you guys just pop up yesterday or have they been here for a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we started last year. We started in early 2022. The concept actually was introduced prior to that. So we had been in the preparation phase for a year prior. And it was during a bull market, actually, when we came up with the concept. So very different timing. And we kind of waited until we entered that bear market to be able to take advantage of those lower ASIC prices. So we didn't launch until June of 2022 for Ace Miners. We had a smaller supply of 500 for our first phase, which we sold out. And then we got into the second phase, which was a larger capacity. So the total supply was 2,000. And then we introduced Litecoin and Dogecoin mining. So initially, that's what we were known for because that's our specialty. We actually got into mining with Litecoin and Dogecoin mining. So we were very satisfied with the network difficulty, with the profitability. So we wanted to introduce that to our holders. And then we held a community vote, and our holders were interested in Kadena, and we're very much interested in Kadena as well. And we wanted to provide full diversification, which is why we later on introduced CKB Nervos as well. So we're now mining Litecoin, Dogecoin, CKB, and Kadena for our community.
And and
Nice.
all that with a single NFT. So you get to mine
Yeah.
just like buying 3 miners with one single NFT. And we've been paying out rewards for the past 2 months because we've been compounding for a few months and just increasing our hash rate numbers overall. So we've been sending rewards. Claim we have a dashboard like you showed on your screen. Holders can hold the NFT and go on their claim on a monthly basis. And the thing is, we don't do any conversion. So the NFTs are on ETH. They got to input their wallet addresses for the native tokens, and they get it natively, just like if you're mining your own tokens.
Mhm. It's a
Wow.
very
So when you're mining the Litecoin and the Cadena and the Dogecoin and all these different coins, what you're saying is that the people that own the NFTs basically own a portion of that hash power, and they're actually being paid out in those native coins that you're mining.
Exactly. Yeah. So 3 transaction, a single claim, and they get all 3 tokens in different wallets that they provide.
And it's
Wow.
essentially what we're doing, Drew, is we're given a very authentic experience where, very similar to them actually owning the miner. So they get a dedicated hash rate per NFT, and there's no conversion to anything. It's just like if you're checking your pool, if you've got your own miner, you can check the live hash rates, how much profit is coming in every 24 hours. So they have, full access to that as well.
Yeah, I like that. I love this dashboard where it says, how much has been mined during this payout cycle, what's the hash rate, how much has been mined today. I love that. This is like the transparency on this is off the charts, and it kind of lets people understand like, okay, what does my NFT actually mean? Well, it's all right here in front of your eyes. So I actually love that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to
Beautiful.
be as transparent with our community as possible, so they have access to everything that we have.
100%. So let's talk about the new offering, right? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't, I'm going to have to buy it off of OpenSea in order to be able to get into Ace Miners. But there's a very, we'll call it, we won't say like bullish, we won't use all the trigger words for people, but we'll say there's a decent opportunity coming up in a coin that is absolutely popping off right now. And you're taking advantage of that and then offering that advantage out to the retail participants. So I kind of want you to just kind of expound upon that and tell everybody what that actually is. And then I'm not going to do any spoilers. I'll let you guys explain what coin it is and I'll pop it up on the screen.
Absolutely. So this actually concept came into fruition because we were approached by several clients through our Ace Miners Pro business as well as our community, and they wanted to have access to this coin that you're talking about. No spoilers just yet. But basically, we really wanted to provide access to this hash rate as well because the price upon entry is very high for this miner. So this is the best time to provide that fractionalization. So this is KASPA mining, and it's with the Bitmain Antminer KS3 that we're offering. And we're giving a dedicated hash rate of 150 gigahash per NFT with a 64-watt power consumption. So it's very competitive. KASPA is definitely up there, as you mentioned, and it's, timing is everything in crypto. So we wanted to get in very early, which is why we secured the first batch of the Antminer KS3. Being a vendor in this space gives us priority. We're also one of the shareholders. So it gives us the ultimate priority here. So our community didn't want to take a huge risk, and I personally wouldn't take a huge risk on a miner, anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000. So yes, this price upon entry is very reasonable, and it gives you access to a dedicated hash rate.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And we sold out our actually 5 batches already. They sold out in minutes. We keep dropping batches of 50 NFTs because each KS3 fractionalizes down to 50 NFTs, and that's how the hash rate is all equal across the board. And we do have 2 legendaries in the collection that will come with a small gift. So we're not gonna spoil it right now, but yeah, they do get a small gift. Yep.
Everybody loves gifts in crypto, man. Let's be real. Everybody's in it for that, and everybody's in it to win it. So those KS3s are like $50,000. Just in case people don't know that, it's not like going to Starbucks and getting a cup of coffee. It's like 1,000 cups of coffee, or like 10,000 cups of coffee, actually. So just keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about this and saying, you know what? I think I can mine myself. All right, go ahead and try, and go ask James Pelton how that's going for him too. James is a really good friend. I love James. I met him in Dubai. He tried to shoot me with an arrow. I caught it out of midair. It was awesome. But he's not having a good time doing his own mining right now. So I'm sure he's really, really happy that you guys are doing these types of things.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah. So then basically, if you buy an NFT, say somebody buys an NFT, one of these new NFTs, right? Then, and I believe they're dropping like in sequence with it almost at the exact same time that this video will be dropping on Friday, because this is pre-recorded. We're recording it on Thursday. It'll drop on Friday. And that batch will open up. So if somebody buys one NFT, they'll essentially have 1/50th of that hash rate, correct?
Yes, exactly. So they get a dedicated hash rate of 150 gigahash per second. There's a good comparison with the Ice River, which is another manufacturer miner that's recently got into the KASPA game. They released 100 gigahash. They were selling it for $1,000, and that sold out with the same amount of electricity that we're using. Right now, you can only get it on eBay for a lot more than that. So yeah, 64 watts, but you get 50% more hash rate with our NFTs, and then you get a lower electric rate because most people are home. They have what, 12, 16 cents a kilowatt hour. Our facility is 100% hydro powered, so 100% green energy, and we're getting an all-in rates at 0.08 per kilowatt hour.
Okay. That's not bad. Yeah, I was working it out. I worked it out. I think it was yesterday. And just for, because everybody's always going to ask, what's the ROI? What's the numbers? We know how it is in crypto, especially with retail investments and things of this sort, right? And it's looking a lot like it's about anywhere, depending on coin price. Everything is fluctuating. That's how crypto is. That's how all capital markets are. It looks like anywhere from like, as it's sitting right now, $25 to like $35 range every single day per NFT that you would actually be mining in that KASPA token. So that's actually a really good, in my opinion, because I come from the traditional markets, that's actually a really good return, because if you take that, $25 and you divide it by essentially the $1,100 that you're having to do it with, that's really not that hard of a ROI time, is my point.
Right, yes, exactly. But we do expect the difficulty as these KS3s come online, the difficulty is going to increase, which will drop the rewards. However, with that being said, KASPA just hit an all-time high a couple of days ago. So the price action has been keeping up greatly in this bear market, actually it's overpowered even Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it was running yesterday. KASPA is up like 60% in the last month or so. So it's really pumping even in a bear market. So that's a great sign of an actual value asset during the bear market.
Yep, I did see that. I'll even share the screen to illustrate that, because if you look at like the past 1 month, I mean, it was at 2.4 cents down here, and now it's up double that. That's crazy. And that's what you're hoping for, right? You hope for that price appreciation. Obviously, we know mining difficulty always, with more people entering the market, more miners entering the market, happenings and things like that happening. We just had a happening with Litecoin, right? But what we're hoping is that as those blockchains and coins catch traction and people start using them more, that keeps the price on a continual upward trajectory, correct?
Right, exactly. And also, like, KASPA has a low market cap. So imagine if you gave it the same market cap, for example, as Solana, it would be times like 40 right now. So it's really early. It's time to actually just accumulate those mined coins and hold on to them until a bull market. And we believe it's going to be very profitable.
Absolutely. Cool. So the math that I worked out, just so that everybody, because I already know everybody's going to be in the comments section. What's the math, Drew? What's the math? If you make $25 a day and you paid $1,100, your ROI time is basically a month and a half. It's about 45 days, somewhere in that realm. Now, always take into account price appreciation or price depreciation, the mining going up in difficulty, and just things like that happening. So that's a general rule of thumb. There is no guarantees. And I want you to talk about a little bit about your business model, because Wolfer Finance and PreSend, we're going to the regulation route, right? We understand how our business models are, and we are not a commodity. We're none of that. We know that we want to be SEC compliant and things of that sort. Now, your business model is a little bit different because you are actually selling hash rate to people. It's almost a more service-based business model. And then the NFT is a placeholder for that hash rate, right? So I kind of want you to just like drill down into what that business model actually is and why people can kind of count on that in the future, right?
Yeah, so we're mining proof of work coins. It's a little different than staking or things like that. So we're a hash rate service provider, like you said, and we give dedicated. Each NFTs come with dedicated hash rate power from various coins. So it's literally just exactly the same as the holders buying a miner their own and being able to mine the coins. Yeah, they still have to claim their taxes, income taxes, as the mining rewards as an income taxes, but that's on the holder's responsibility. But in terms of Ace Miners NFT and Ants Miners, it's all hash rate service provider as an NFT. So it's computer power that gets translated into mine coins.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And, think of it sort of like cloud mining. So just to kind of piggyback on that, we're just providing the hash rate power. So we come in as a service provider, with a hosting solution, and they have direct access to their to those coins, which is an authentic experience given that it's the native coin as well. So completely decentralized process.
Yeah, things get a little tricky with
Definitely.
regulations when you start converting coins
Yeah.
to stables. So this has no conversion involved, so which makes it a lot safer for the holder and for the company itself.
I agree. I would actually tend to agree with that. And if anyone wants to know what the hash rates are and kind of keep up to date with this type of stuff, you can go to asicminervalue.com. You can go to Bitmain Antminer KS3. You can type in your electricity costs up here. Let's say it's 8 cents, and it'll give you the profitability. Then you can take all of that, take your hash rate, divide it by 50, and then you can also track it on the Ace Miners website. But I believe it'll probably be on the Antminers website now, right?
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
For
As
this
soon as we get
particular
them
NFT.
delivered and hashing away, hopefully at the end of the month, we'll have a dashboard that keeps track of all hash statistics. And the good
Beautiful.
thing about also you mitigate your risks because we have 6 KS3 running, and let's say one goes down due to maintenance or repair or things like that, the NFTs will still generate rewards from the remainder of the miners that we have running.
Yeah, I
And
like that because it's like a pool. It's just like, hey, we've mined X amount today. Everybody shares in the risk and everybody else shares in the reward as well.
Exactly. Yep.
absolutely. And we handle all of the repairs on site as well. We've got a team to be able to replace fans. If we need to flash a board or something like that, we have close contacts with the Bitmain Repair Center in Washington State, as well as Delaware. So we've got those options that we take care of. So it's completely hassle-free to the consumer.
Beautiful. And then I know you can't really talk too much about it because these are secure facilities and they're secure for a reason, right? But in terms of the hydro power that you're using, can you talk about it's in the United States, correct?
Correct. So I can tell you the location as well. It's in Oregon, Washington, and then we have a partnered site in Wisconsin, but our main two locations are in Washington and Oregon. In Washington State, it's about 4 hours outside of Seattle, so in the Tri-Cities area, and then we're operating out of Northern Oregon as well. We
Perfect.
wanted to provide hydro to minimize our carbon footprint. So really, we started off doing that, and we want to maintain that. We also do a little bit of natural gas. We assist some of our clients in placing them in natural gas sites and other power sources. But for our projects, we're maintaining that hydro facility.
Absolutely. No, I definitely 100% understand that. In terms of when these NFTs come out and say that they do mint out because there's a lot of, demand for them, right? I know that there's only so many that you can actually bring because you want to make sure that if you're sell 50 NFTs, that you have that miner on order. That way, whenever it comes in, you can actually start mining and you don't want to kind of like depreciate everybody else's rewards because you had sold too many NFTs, right? In your opinion, how many batches of like 50, like how many miners do you think that you could potentially have, like if the clouds just dissipated, the sun was shining and the world is perfect? What is your like I'm maxed out allocation of these KS3s?
So the smart contract is set up. Initially, we only planned to release 50, and that was very, very popular with our community. So we decided to release another batch. That's why when you mint an NFT, you're not going to see pre-reveal picture unless you mint it within the first 50. However, with that being said, the smart contract allows up to 500 NFTs to be minted. So there's a total capacity of 10 KS3. But we've been securing one KS3 at a time right before the mint, and depending on the demand and also depending on the accessibility of the KS3, if it's still available from our partners, we'll be able to drop more batches. But
Definitely.
we like to do it 50 at a time. It just also mitigates our risk that we're taking purchasing
Yeah.
these KS3s.
Mhm.
Yeah, scale with confidence. I agree.
Yeah.
110% agree.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Is there anything that you think that we have missed, or is there something that is on the back burner that you might want to drop a spoiler on and say get some people excited, or just anything, your thoughts, right? Because I know I don't know your company as well as you do, right? So I might be able to guide the conversation, but I want to hear from you from an interior perspective. Are there any golden nuggets that we're missing that you would like to drop on anyone?
So yeah, antminerz NFTs is actually a collection, which is we're going to release more in the future. It's a collection that coincides with the latest releases of Bitmain's miners. So whenever, let's say, Bitmain comes up with an L9 miner or a different type of miner, we'll look into dropping another collection for Dogecoin, Litecoin, or whatever miners out there to our community, as long as the demand is in there. So yeah, and also all our ACE holders will always have priority whitelist access to these future batches.
Mhm. And
Perfect.
we are going to be doing a very special giveaway soon. So around that reveal party time, we're going to be launching some very exciting giveaways. I can't give out too much info right now, but stay tuned because it's very exciting.
Beautiful. And then in terms of say that again, in a perfect world, right? The sky is clear. What is I guess what's your target date to have all of these, say that all of your NFT collections sell out because they're going fast. We know that they're probably going to sell out. We can almost take that as, a matter of fact statement. What do you think is your timeline to have all of these like up, running, going, and the whole infrastructure, right? At your facility, you own everything, and boom, they're mining.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
we've been. Oh, go ahead, Zara. Yeah, go ahead.
That's a question. So the infrastructure is ready. We've actually been expanding. So we've got the place ready for hashing. So as soon as we get the miner, we actually turn it on the same day. We have our tech support on site. So our lead time is, almost immediate. Um, Depending on when we get the miner, we're expected to receive it by the end of this month. So hopefully it'll be fairly quick. I know Bitmain is not gonna delay this batch too much because they're competing with Ice River. Ice River is getting ready to release their version of a KS3 very soon as well. So I think it'll coincide with that. So I would say shortly after we get it, we'll have it up and hashing within a day or two.
And
Okay.
just to touch up on something for example, for Ace Miners NFT, we were the first mining project in Web3 to receive the KA3. So we were the first project before any other project. The same thing with the K7s, and even our lead time. Whenever we order a new Litecoin miner in L7 for our community, we receive it within a couple of days. So, but hopefully Bitmain doesn't delay the order too long. Hopefully, like Zara said, by the end of the month, and we can get those hashing as soon as they arrive.
Mhm.
That's
Absolutely.
wonderful. What do you think the lifetime on these miners are, right? Because we know how competitive the mining and the hash power is in terms of all these different companies that come out with these things. So I guess what I'm wondering is say that, and obviously with an ROI time being like 45 days potentially, as long as this thing, moves the way that it's moving right now, not as big of an issue. I understand that, but eventually that market will most likely kind of level out to where it's coinciding with the Doges, the Litecoins, the Cadenas, and the Bitcoins of the world, where it's like there's this massive competition to bring out these new miners, right? And it seems like,
Mhm.
especially for Bitcoin, they bring out new miners every single year, and they're like, "Yep, those are obsolete." So, in your
Yep.
opinion, how quickly do you think that they start bringing out new miners for this? And what is your plan when they do and say, everything becomes more competitive, and you're like, "Hey, we got to upgrade."
Mhm.
So we choose to go with Bitmain because as we've seen with Goldshell, they released the KD5 and KD6, like you were talking about James Pelton ordering those, and then the Bitmain just came and destroyed their market. So we opt out to always use the latest miners by Bitmain. It's the biggest and best manufacturer of miners. We've had other miners in the past we've had a lot of issues with, but this is what we're doing. We're purchasing the latest miners with a lifetime, hopefully up to 5 years with a good maintenance. Yes, the hash rate, the difficulty can go up, but then also the coin value. And like you said, Bitcoin, we see a lot of S19s that came out last year. Even though the new Bitcoin miners are out this year, the old ones are still profitable. So the difficulty is still, as long as the coin value keeps increasing, we should be okay.
And also, a good indication of how long a miner is going to last, the longevity of a miner, is to see who the manufacturer is. So we like to take that approach as well, because Bitmain is a very competitive company, very competitive manufacturer. So whenever Goldshell took over with the KA3s or with Kadena, Bitmain was like, hey, we're going to triple, that profitability, that hash rate, make it more efficient. So this is why ultimately we're going with Bitmain rather than an Ice River, because we know of their competitive nature. So a good indication is, to have that manufacturer in place producing the latest miners. So I think it's the safest option, and we've done a lot of research on the back end. So we're taking a very low risk approach here by purchasing those Bitmain units.
Yeah, with that being said, definitely. Bitmain is not the most ethical when it comes to business, but they still make the best miners. You can't deny that.
100%. So I guess what I'm wondering is there's two things actually that I'm wondering now is, first off, how does the team make money? Because we want to make sure, like, I'm a business owner, right? I wouldn't do business if I didn't make money. I definitely wouldn't make a bunch of other people money if I wasn't going to make money and prosper because of it as well. So kind of like the economics behind your project. And then also, are you taking anything and kind of like building a war chest with it? Say that something, I know that most of these come with, warranties and stuff like that. But say that shelf life does come and it's just kaput, right? And you have basically UGATs, which means nothing, right? And it's done. How do you is that kind of like the shelf life on the NFT as well? Or are you going to build a war chest where you take some of the rewards and say, keep them to, replace miners in years to come if you need to?
Right. So with Ace Miners NFT, we chose to go ahead and do the compounding. So the community voted to compound 30% of the monthly mining rewards and keep increasing their hash rate that way. We're doing things a little different for ants. So they buy a dedicated hash rate, 150 gigahash a second, 64 watts, without any fees taken from it, neither for the team or compounding. So to answer your question, how does the team make money to keep the business running? Yeah, essentially each KS3 can be broken down to 55 NFTs. So instead of doing 55, we're doing 50 NFTs per KS3, and the team is taking 10% of the hash rate. But we're advertising 150 gigahash dedicated hash rate for the holders.
And we want to provide a sustainable project, long-term project. So we want to make sure that we are here for the long run. So we factor in all those costs of development, to our artists, everything is factored into that price per NFT. So you'll notice that it might be a little bit more than purchasing your own unit, but it's only because we are here to ensure a long and sustainable project, and be able to factor in those costs for businesses. And as you mentioned, you're a business owner yourself, so you know very well how it works. So we're fully transparent with that information.
Yeah, and this is not a Ponzi scheme. I know you cover a lot of them on your show. I watch it all the time. So this is really, you're buying a miner, you get a concrete and actual hash rate power back to the holder. So yeah, we're not using mint funds to pay the rewards. You can check out the dashboard, see how much we mined so far, and then we deduct the electricity rate from it, and then we give that back to the holders.
Yeah, and just so that everybody knows, anybody that's watching, Ace Miners and Ant Miners has never been featured on a long form Drew Wolfer channel. We'll say the videos that everybody knows me for. They have not been featured on any of those videos, so that's always a good sign. We'll just put that out there for everybody, and hopefully they appreciate that and take them for what it is. So we've got a lot of them. Probably hundreds of them at this point. Yeah, no, I actually appreciate businesses like yours that are actually doing that's what I look for, and that's why I built my companies the way that I built my companies as well, because I want to take traditional business and bring it into Web3, right? And that's exactly what you're doing. There's a bunch of commercial and industrialized businesses that are mining literally right now, right? But they're not inside of Web3, and they're not giving access to the small person, the, retail investor, or the, what we would consider non-accreds, right? The non-accredited investors that have, hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's exactly what you're doing. That's the exact use case that we see inside of crypto, and especially inside of like the NFT and the coin markets, for people to come in and do these exact type of things. So I actually, from me, I appreciate that, just having legitimate projects out here that have been functional for a very long time and that consistently prove that they're doing exactly what they say that they're doing, right?
Absolutely. No, we appreciate that, Drew. And that's the exact concept that we wanted to offer, to be able to provide this service to everyone. And, the end user is going to be able to benefit from it with just a little bit of an upfront, cost. So I do appreciate you touching a bit on that as well.
Yeah, 110%. Well, is there anything else that you feel that we need to cover? Let's give them the date again. The date, and show up or don't show up, either way, but we know people are going to show up. Are you going to be the one that shows up is really what it's going to come down to, because there's 50 available, correct?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're dropping 50 for the whitelist at 11 a.m. The public sale is scheduled to start at noon, but we haven't been, none of the batches have made it to the public.
It's never hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Race to the starting line.
Yeah.
Sounds
but if
good.
there's enough demand, they can just, as long as there's demand, we can look into dropping a batch 7. Hopefully that one makes it to the public. But yeah, tomorrow 11 a.m. Eastern time, the whitelist, noon public sale.
I honestly think that you're going to get through 10 batches without any issue, like relatively quickly. And then people are going to still be screaming, "Hey, I want more batches," because I didn't get in. So yeah, I think you guys are going to do extremely well. And, I appreciate you all coming on the channel. It truly means a lot to have, people in the space that are actually innovating. They're doing good things. And, those are the types of people that I want to feature on my channel, and give them the ability to come on my channel and show everybody and explain these things to people that I'm not necessarily explaining, because I'm too busy hunting down the Brian legends of the world. Right. So
absolutely. No, you're doing amazing things with all the softwares, and, very innovative person. So it's a pleasure to be here, Drew. And, we hope to be back again with more updates, because as AJ mentioned, this is going to coincide with the latest Gen miners. So I'm sure we'll see you again.
100%. Well, everybody, make sure that you show up if you want to mint the NFTs. Obviously, make sure that you follow the channel if you want to see more updates on projects exactly like this. Hit the like button. Obviously, subscribe. Boom. Bang on the notification bell. Comment whatever you think in the relevant sections. We appreciate it. We will pass on any questions to the team. And everybody, have a good day.